Russian troops have pulled back from northern Ukraine. CGTN's Iolo Dafydd got a rare first-hand look at the aftermath of fierce fighting around the capital Kyiv.
Through back roads and almost empty villages, we followed Ukrainian soldiers as they led us eventually to the main motorway which connects Kyiv with the west of Ukraine. Within a few kilometers, we saw the remnants of tanks and troop carriers, blown up as they headed towards the capital city. The highway is almost entirely closed. Further west, from Buzova, we came to Beresivka and the site of another Russian supply convoy which had been destroyed. As you can see, a whole line of vehicles have been hit here, Russian vehicles, probably by a drone and a missile from that drone. We can't actually go in and walk closer to these vehicles because there are ordnances and bombs all the way up and we don't know whether they're still live or not. But what's really important to note here is that there are 7 or 8 vehicles in this column. We saw plenty of civilian cars, some burned, others just abandoned, as people living near this battleground tried to escape. Some cars were crushed as if tanks had driven over them. The third battle was in the village of Dmitrivka. This village was the scene of quite an intense battle. We can see that some of the houses have been demolished and affected by mortar or artillery fire. There are 2 big battle tanks which have also been destroyed. But once again, in this part of Ukraine, we can see how fierce the battle was in the last few days. Just beyond the village, heading north, these Russian soldiers were stopped from retreating further. In the forest just outside Dmitrivka, we found another 6 vehicles, including tanks which have been blown up. Ukrainian soldiers now are just checking the area to make sure that none of the bombs or ordnances are still live. Inside some of these tanks there are still bodies of Russian soldiers who've died here. Many of them, of course, were trying to leave this area and heading north towards Belarus. Despite a morale-boosting week for the Ukrainian army, even bigger battles lie ahead in the south and east of Ukraine. Iolo Dafydd, CGTN, Kyiv.